Hello students, welcome to Simapuri. Let's travel through the life of the people in Simapuri, a place in the outskirts of Delhi, very far away from Delhi metaphorically. The people in Simapuri are rag pickers. Let's travel through the extract of Annie's junk. Sometimes I find a rupee in the garbage. An extract from her book Lost Spring Stories of Stolen Childhood. In this extract, she speaks about her experience of talking to the women of Simapuri. The people in Simapuri are squatters from Dhaka in 1971. They were the people who were living in the fields of Dhaka, the fields which are continuously swept away by the storm. And they lost everything. And these people came to Delhi in Simapuri. Here they are finding their survival from these rags. So our author is speaking about the dwells these people have made in Simapuri. They have constructed tents or houses made of mud with tin roofs or tarpaulins. The Simapuri doesn't have a sewage system, drainage system or a running water. Still these people are happy. They're happy because they could go to sleep without an aching stomach. From these women of Simapuri, Aniston comes to know that they have a ration card which helps them to get the election ID. Even though they don't have any ID cards, they are happy that they have ration card because through these ration cards they could get some grains that could fill the stomach. So these ladies are of the opinion that even though they have no identity in India, in Delhi, they have ration card, so they are happy. And these garbages are source of their survival. It has different meanings for different people. For elders, it is source of survival, and for children, it is something wrapped in wonder. They could find a silver coin, and finding a silver coin in garbage gives them hope of finding more. So it is something wrapped up in wonder. In this story, our author Anis Jain, who was born in Rourkela, brought up in Hyderabad and completed her studies in Hyderabad and US, is sharing her experience of meeting a boy named Sahab. When she first met Sahab, he was nearby the garbage, picking up rags. And she asked him why he is doing this. Means picking rag. The boy said, I have nothing else to do. What should I do? Then she asked him, why couldn't you go to school? And he said that there is no school built for them in their neighborhood. And she promised him that she will build a school for him. A hollow promise. But next time when this boy met her, she went to her and asked whether the school is ready. Then she understood the hollowness of her promise. And again when she met him, he was with his friends, rag picking friends. All these boys were found barefoot. She asked them why they are roaming around in barefoot. One of them told her that his mother is not giving him shoes from the shelf. Other boy who was wearing two different shoes, he was trying to hide his feet. And the third boy said he wanted a pair of shoes but he doesn't have. And somehow they are trying to hide their level of poverty by telling things like it's a part of their tradition not to wear any shoes or chappals, roaming around in bare feet. It's a part of tradition. And she remembers a story told by a person in Udupi. He was sharing his experience of praying for a pair of shoes when he passed a temple where his father was a priest. And our author Anis Jain happened to travel through that village after 30 years, and she is telling that the same temple is there in that desolated area, and she found another priest boy wearing two shoes, a pair of shoes. And she is saying that in Udupi, the things have changed a lot. Now there are boys who are wearing shoes. They are not praying for a pair of shoes. But still, the condition of Simapuri is not changed. These rat-picking boys are roaming around without wearing any shoes. The situation, the condition has not changed it. Next time when she met Sahab, she found that he is peeping through the fence of a tennis club, watching two other boys playing tennis. And he tells her that he likes tennis very much. And the watchman used to give him the permission to get into the tennis court and use the swing when there is nobody else. And Anis Ding notices that our Sahab is wearing two shoes, and he informs her that it is given to him by somebody else. She notices a hole in one of the shoes which says that it is thrown away by somebody else. And all these things points out towards the poverty-stricken life of these people in Simapuri, and how the childhood of these boys, these rat-picking boys, are exploited. Again, she narrates another experience of meeting him in another morning, one of the other morning. When she meets him, our Sahab was carrying a tea canister, and he was telling her that now he is working in a tea stall in a distant place. He is getting paid 800 rupees per day and all meals. She asks him whether he is happy, and he herself points out that when he was a rag-picking boy, he was his own master. Those plastic bags were not that heavier like this tea canister. This tea canister is somebody else. It's not his own. Now he is not his own master. He is working under somebody else. He lost all his freedom which other children enjoy in their childhood. So through the extract, she is trying to tell us that even this boy doesn't know the meaning of his name. His full name is Sahab-e-Alam, which means Lord of Universe. And even though she tells it to him, he won't believe it. So throughout the extract, he is trying to point us, he is trying to show the readers the poverty-stricken misery life of the people of Simapuri, or the rag pickers of Simapuri. The same Simapuri which is there in the same Delhi where people live very lavishly. So this is our extract. Now read your text thoroughly. Try to understand each and every line in the chapter and write the review test. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.